Good morning. Welcome back to Listen, I Have an Idea. It is the 9th of November. Today is my mom's birthday, so we're going to be going out for supper later today. But before we get into all that fun stuff, I figured I would update you since yesterday's vlog on some of the big developments that has happened. I got my coffee. It is orange cappuccino flavored with a little bit of, marshmallow syrup in it. It's delicious. There is only the sugar that comes with the coffee. The syrup has no sugar in it, so I don't feel guilty drinking it. I have my coffee. I'm pretty much ready to go. I have been writing so far this morning, so let me update you on everything that has happened so far. This morning, I ended up waking up quite early just so I could lay in bed and think about my story. I needed time to meditate and really think on the subject. I ended up going to bed quite late last night, just trying to edit the video and upload it, so I didn't make the time yesterday to fully sit down and think through my story in the way that I wanted to. I did sit down and think about it, but it didn't put as much thought and as much effort into it as I did this morning. So I spent about an hour and a half just lying there thinking about what I wanted my story to be, how I envisioned the characters living their life, the settings, why I wanted to write the story in the first place, and that is where I had my big breakthrough. So initially when I planned out this story, I had a very clear idea of where I wanted it to go, and I actually based it on a couple of photos that I came across on Pinterest just randomly. So I saw these photos, I thought that would make a great spot or location for a story, and I already had envisioned these characters within it. So everything that I was writing initially in my first draft was shaped around these certain locations that I thought for sure something was going to happen. Well, as I was thinking this morning, I thought, you know what? If I introduce one new character and I change up some of what's happening, I think I can morph it to where A, those original locations that I saw online work with the story. B, it creates a much deeper background history for all the characters. And C, I just think it would provide so much more entertainment for myself writing it and for the reader as well. The rest of my morning has been conceptualizing and visualizing my story in my head. I have written down quite a bit on Scrivener in my notes. I have about 679 words so far written down, but I have plotted out a lot more in my head, and I'm just trying to put it on the page. That way I remember it all. The biggest change that has come to this version of this draft is that I am no longer going to be writing split perspective back and forth between every chapter. In Starstruck, that is how the story was structured. So every other chapter was the two main characters. This time around, I'm going to be approaching it very similar to how The Silent Waters by, I can't remember her name, but I had mentioned it a couple of videos back, but The Silent Waters had a couple of different parts. So the first part was the female character, the second part was the male character, and then I think the third and final part was again the female character. And I think I want to shape it very similarly. I feel as though the first number of chapters, I don't know how many that's going to be just yet, but the first number of chapters would be great if they were just in the female character's perspective. Then we get midway through after some big events take place, and then we switch perspectives right over to the male character. Overall, I think that's going to work really well for the story and how I want it to progress. If I were to go every other chapter back and forth between the two perspectives, I don't think it would flow as smoothly as I want it to be. I'm going to spend as much time as I can plotting out all of these notes, see where we get. I probably will very soon hit the daily goal just in these words, and I decided I'm just going to include them. I have no qualms about it anymore. With me scrapping my entire novel so far, I want to keep those words, obviously, but I also want my words to make sense and flow for the rest of the time that I'm writing this month. So yes, I'm going to input all of these words into Scrivener after I am done brainstorming, and we'll take it from there. It is now 2:20, and I think it is a perfect time to take a break because I just got a package. So I figure I will open that up and share with you what I have gotten done so far. As you can see, I have hit 2,613 words so far today. I am very, very pleased with that. I knew soon I was going to have a big word day, and all of this, yes, it is note planning, but 2,613 words is amazing. All right, I know the words are blurred. I'm sorry about that. I want to keep this mostly private, but I know through the blurriness, you can definitely see the individual lighter yellow colors. Those are all individual chapters that I have plotted out. So far, I think there's about 10 of them. Look at all of that. Like this huge chapter, I needed a lot of notes for it. But yeah, they're getting more detailed. I am so happy with how it's going so far. This last chapter, I'm about halfway through planning. I still got to figure out where it's going to end, but that'll pretty much take us to I don't want to say halfway through the book, but a pretty good chunk of it. Okay, let's pop these words into Scrivener. Okay, here we go. So we have written 2,613 words today, and I am feeling genuinely ecstatic about all the words so far. I think this is the truest, highest star rating that I have put for all of my writing. All of my writing so far. There we go. We're doing well above the daily goal. 15,000. We're at 16,535 altogether. And there we go. There's my biggest word day so far. Oh, I'm so happy. All right, 10 chapters plotted for the most part. The last chapter, of course, I got to finish fleshing out, but everything is going pretty much the way I wanted it to originally, like in my first draft. And there's a lot of scenes so far that I've been able to make work from my first draft that I had planned out. I made it work in this draft. There's at least 4 scenes that I knew for sure were going to happen in that first draft that are now morphed into this one. And it works so good. It is so cute. It is exactly what I wanted for this story. I'm so pleased. I'm so happy with myself. I'm so glad that I've decided to scrap those other words and not move forward with it and start something new, because I knew I would not get to this point if I had stuck with that original story. In the 10 chapters so far, we do see quite a bit of time elapse between it. We also see quite a few locations, which is what I was planning in that first novel. I have changed it around a little bit, so there's a couple of new locations. We do see that new character quite a bit in this version, at least in the first couple of chapters. They'll kind of fizzle out midway through and then make a really big grand appearance back at the very end. At least that's what I'm hoping so. But that main character, or that new character, is not going to be going away in this draft. They're a pretty permanent fixture in this draft. Of course, everything that I've written so far today are notes, and it's nothing that I can proceed with, but I did write a smidge little bit of dialogue as I was plotting it out. I knew if I didn't write it down at the time, I would completely forget it. I'm going to open up my package that I got. As you can tell by the shape, it is a record. This is one that I pre-ordered quite a while ago, and it's finally arrived. I have a couple of albums on pre-order, but yes, oh, this will look so good on my shelves. It's the new Lainey album. It's GGBBXX. I'm very excited to play this one. I think it'll look so good with all my other white albums. I'll put it right there for now. Actually, I'm going to switch it over. I like the back of the other one better. All right, so that's going to be it for me for right now. I'm going to go grab some lunch, and then I'm going to get back to it. It would be nice to hit about 3K words today, maybe a little bit more. I'm so close to 3K, so we'll see where it goes. But I definitely need to eat lunch because I'm going out for dinner, and I know if I don't eat anything now, I'm just going to hurt my stomach later. All right, here are my white albums. I'm just going to move this one over one. Can I do it? There we go. I just like the look of that one a little bit better on the back. Yeah, if you guys want a tour of my records, just let me know. Made myself another coffee. This is what I used for it. So it's orange cappuccino. And I mix it with a little bit of this initially. Excuse me. This is my shelf of syrups. See, I got another one. Got all the fall flavors out front. Got a bunch back there, and I have a lot more in reserve. Hi, Frizz. How's it going? You been sleeping on my bed? Yes, you have. You've been such a good little helper today. All right, it has been a couple of hours. I have eaten lunch. I have taken a little bit of a break, a much needed break. I could definitely feel the caffeine jitters running through me, and I foolishly decided to drink another cup of coffee. That aside, I figured it's time to wrap my mother's birthday presents, and I want to show you the little drawer of gifts that I've been collecting over the past year for birthdays and Christmases. So in my dresser here at the very bottom drawer, I have a ton of birthday and Christmas presents. I'm not sharing with you who everything is for, but I think you can see I have a lot of blue and white stuff. And so that is for my mom for Christmas, not this. I'm thinking for her birthday, I'm going to give her this plate just because it's so beautiful. And as you can see, I still have to take off the price tags, but you know what? It's beautiful. I think I'm going to give it to her now. And then for Christmas, I'll give her the bowl that I just thrifted the other day. I'm going to clean it up and put some either live or some cute little fake plants or something inside and like dress it all up. But for today, into this one, I'm going to take that out first. And yeah, this thing is in mint condition. You good?
No.
Obviously not. When you're putting a card into an envelope, make sure to take into account if the person is left or right-handed. I know my mom really appreciates when I put the cards in for her so she can pull it out being left-handed. and it does make the difference. Yes, I got the writing a little bit askew there, but I think she'll appreciate it. Gift and card are ready to go. Now it's time to leave. Put on a little bit of makeup, wrap the present. Now I'm just gonna put on a little bit of perfume and then get going. This is what we're gonna be wearing today. It smells like Febreze. Got the flowers. Lizzie, stay on here.
Oh, what was I gonna say?
You're gonna say that you put money in the cake?
Oh yes, it's a tradition to have a money cake. But we bought a pre-made cake, so all I did was just shove the coins in the side where the icing was, and then as you can see, it's kind of shabby chic because I had to refrost it at the sides.
But you obviously wrapped it in parchment.
Oh yeah,
in case the people wonder.
You put it in parchment paper and then you like stick it in. But I didn't put it in very far. Typically you'd put it in if you had a 2-layer cake on the top, and then you'd put the icing in on the other layer so it's hidden, but
that'll do, I think, really nicely. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Mom. Happy birthday to you. Thank you so much. Oh, flip it real good. Sure, thank you. I'm guessing nothing. That does look good. please repeat it. Okay. Okay.
Let's do it all over again.
Ready? Okay, a recreation of what just happened 20 seconds ago.
Thank you so much for putting these in left-handed.
Perfect. Okay, good. And it opens like a pizza box.
Oh, so go this way. Oh my goodness! Where did you find this?
Well, where else would I find it? At the thrift store.
Oh my gosh, I love it.
I had a wonderful evening tonight. As you saw, it was very successful. My mom had a really great time. I am back because I want to do a little bit more writing before I end today's video and before I go to bed. I have a little under 400 words left to get to 3,000 words for today, and that is what I really want to do. I mean, a 2,600 word day is great, but can I push it to 300? Or sorry, 3,000 for sure. It's been done. I crossed the 3,000 word limit. We wrote another 439 words altogether. I kind of struggled through these ones, but you know what? 3,000 words. That's all I care about. Let's add the words here before the stroke of midnight. 439. We'll put it there today. There we go. They've been added. Look at that big word day. I'm so happy and pleased with myself. Definitely a huge spike. 3,052 words altogether today. I'm feeling really, really great about that. I finished up tying up the loose ends with the last couple words that I wrote, just finishing my thoughts, completing some sentences, tying everything back together, just making sure that my notes so far made sense. I did read through them just to make sure everything did, and so far it's looking good. I'm not 100% sure where chapter 11 is going to lead into, but I think I've developed a really, really, really good foundation for the first 10 chapters that once I get to that point where I'm ready to write chapter 11, I will have a clear, distinct idea where I want the rest of the book to go. I do know now where it is going to eventually end up. Of course, it's romance. We know where it's going to end up. I do know some of what the chapters are going to be later on, at least a vague idea for it. I just don't know what I want to do to connect chapter 10 into chapter 11. But that is not a problem for Heidi for today. That is going to be a problem for Heidi by the end of the month. Yeah, this should get me right up to the 50,000 word goal, and we'll see if I push it beyond there. That is going to be it for me today. I am very pleased with my work. It is one of my, well, obviously it's my biggest word day so far. I don't know how tomorrow is going to go, how much I'm going to want to write, but I think I want to start just going at it. I'll start with chapter 1 and see where we go from there. So I will be back tomorrow to start that. But that's going to be it for me today. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will see you tomorrow. And until then, happy writing. Bye. Oh no. Perfect. Let's grab the scissors. How much extra?